everyone, and welcome to the Idaho Foodbank's grand opening. I'm Michelle Edmonds from Idaho News 6. I am so excited and honored to be here today to celebrate a momentous occasion that has been a long time coming, the grand opening of Idaho's largest hunger relief facility located right here in the heart of the Treasure Valley. On behalf of the staff and board of directors of the Idaho Foodbank, thank you for joining us today. We are so pleased to have you here with us. It is a great day for Idaho as we take a step to ensuring anyone who finds themselves in need of food not only has access, but is provided with nutritious options. And this facility couldn't have been poised to open at a better time, with 1 in 9 Idahoans currently facing some level of food insecurity. Food banks do so much more than just provide food. They nurture the members of a community so that they can receive the help they need to be their best self. Food is truly a powerful tool to help build stronger communities. For our communities, that is nearly 200,000 of our friends and neighbors that the food bank is helping feed, educate, and advocate for. And this new facility that we are celebrating today has been key to ensuring the statewide hunger relief network has had continual access to food during the past year. During the groundbreaking ceremony back in July of last year, I had shared with all of you that we were looking forward to the day that we could invite everyone together to celebrate and tour this amazing new facility. Well, things might look a little different than we anticipated. But you know what? Because we are coming to you virtually, more of you from all over the state will get the opportunity to get a bird's eye view of this new facility. We've got the opportunity not only for you to get a look inside the building, but the chance to hear from leaders and supporters who have made this facility a reality. So what are we waiting for? Let's get this tour started. I've got 3 amazing Idaho Food Bank leaders standing by to help introduce this facility to all of you. President and CEO Karen Vauk, past board chair Mike Hayhurst, along with special guest Meridian Mayor Robert Simison. And here is Morgan Wilson, Chief Development Officer, to get us started.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for all of your support throughout the Fresh Approach Capital campaign. This is an exciting day for Idahoans, and we're so grateful that you, our donors and supporters, volunteers and community members, are joining us today. I'm also excited to be here with Mike and Karen.
Thank you, Morgan. And you were right. It is so great to finally be here today. And really, it started a number of years ago when management and the board looked across Idaho and saw an increasing need. And at that point, started planning for an increased distribution network throughout Idaho and a larger facility here in southern Idaho.
You are so right, Mike. And thank heavens we already had that planning underway. Little did we know prior to that how much that capacity would be needed. In fact, during the first year of the pandemic, our food distribution increased by 38% on average, and some months it was a 60% increase in food distribution. We simply could not have met that need without this facility.
It's so true, Karen, thank goodness. And Mike, you've been on the board actually in leadership roles the majority of this campaign. How did this facility fit into that long-term vision?
It fit in really nicely with the vision. Back a number of years ago when I was talking about that, we could see that there was really a change in the type of food that was being donated. Much more fresh produce given the fact that we're in an agricultural area. Also, our understanding of nutrition and how that fits into the broader health and long-term success of individuals who have food insecurity. And then we also looked a little bit at, with the addition of frozen food, really needing to increase our capacity of freezer and refrigeration space. So those were some of the items we had to tick off. Now, there were a couple of things we had to do first. This was a 3-step process to get to where we are today. First, we started in Pocatello, and we did some required renovations there. And then we looked at Lewiston and built a new facility in Lewiston to really help the distribution network up north. And then we turned our attention here in the south. And really, when we started doing that, we began talking about ground, thinking that we'd just build a warehouse from the ground up. That's what we were looking at. But quite frankly, when the Jackson's old facility came available, we thought that it ticked every one of those things that we needed: the extra refrigeration capacity, the size to take us not only today into tomorrow, but the foreseeable future. And ultimately, when we started the discussion, weren't sure we were going to be able to make it work. But really, because of the generous donation of the Jackson stores, really the largest donation we've ever had, it made it work, and we were able to be here today.
Absolutely. I mean, what incredible generosity, not just from the Jacksons, but from the entire community. And at such a critical moment for us. Karen, what does this facility mean for Idahoans today and also in the future?
It's really important to recognize that this is an impact that will last many years into the future. With this capacity, it allows us to accept more of the donations, the food donations. We have a very generous agricultural community that offers donations, from our grocery store partners who offer donations, our food manufacturers. I mean, this is a state with an abundance of food that's available, and the generosity of those companies. And now we've got a facility to be able to accept those donations and then provide that healthy food to Idahoans. And that's really the difference we're most excited about, is being able to meet a broader need across the state with healthy foods.
Absolutely. It's now my pleasure to introduce the mayor of Meridian, Robert Simison, who's joining us today to celebrate our grand opening.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here to celebrate the ribbon cutting for the Idaho Food Bank. On behalf of the city of Meridian, I want to welcome you to the community and be amongst the first to offer my support and congratulations. We look forward to working alongside you and the other great community organizations that are helping our neighbors thrive. Karen, you ready to cut the ribbon?
Let's do it, Mayor.
Welcome to the new home of the Idaho Food Bank.
Oh, don't you love it? Congratulations, Idaho Food Bank. And so now that the ribbon has officially been cut, I can't wait to take you all inside. So let's do it. Every guest is welcomed into a bright and airy reception area, which includes a special dedication wall for our donors. And speaking of donors, as Mike and Karen mentioned, this building could not have been made possible without the generous support of so many people and businesses. You can see them here. In fact, more than 2,400 donors came together to support and complete this $14.5 million project, and their generosity has not gone unnoticed. We are so grateful for our vision partners, Jackson's Companies, J.R. Simplot Company, Norco Incorporated, Idaho Central Credit Union, Sensi Incorporated, M.J. Murdoch Charitable Trust, the Alsam Foundation, St. Luke's, Micron Foundation, AJ and Susie Belukoff, Art and Michelle Beal. And a big thanks to our leadership donors. And also to our mission donors. And to the countless others who have made this huge goal a reality. A huge thank you to all of you. Speaking of generosity, I think Morgan has a special guest joining her in the reception area. Morgan, who do you have with you?
I'm here with John Jackson of Jackson's Companies. This building was made a reality thanks to their generosity. John, I'm so glad you could be with us here today.
Thank you, Morgan.
John, when you heard that the Idaho Food Bank was looking at expanding our capacity, what were your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was great news. You know, Idaho, Boise Valley is growing quite rapidly, and I know you needed more capacity. There's a huge need for the services you provide, so I thought it was great.
Well, and it was such an amazing coincidence that you happen to have this building that fits so many of our needs. But can you share a little bit about, at the end of the day, why did you decide to support the Idaho Food Bank?
Well, I mean, food is one of the, that's one of the core necessities of life, for sure. And I know what we've always tried to support the communities that we do business in, and we're based right here. We were in this building with one of our sister companies, and So when we were moving, we had a lot of refrigeration and freezer space, which I know is key to facilities that you occupy, and so it seemed like a good fit, so we wanted to support it, like I say, in the spirit of supporting the communities we're in.
No, and it's amazing. We're actually neighbors now, which is also wonderful. And like you said, so many of pieces of this building fit together so perfectly with our needs. John, as a longtime community leader, what do you hope the impact of this facility will be?
Providing food, particularly to children, I think is a really soft spot for me. And, just like say the capacity that was increased, there's more and more people in need, and you're more able to fulfill that need. So we were just really excited that it fit well, and we're happy to help get you in here.
Well, John, it just means the world to us. This facility has done just that. We've been able to provide more food, not just here in Southwest Idaho, but across the state, thanks to your generosity. And, we'll just keep saying it because we just can't say thank you enough.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm glad to be a part of it. You do a great job, and I've felt it was, it's easy to get behind supporting your organization.
Thank you. And thank you to all of our donors who are joining us today and who came in partnership to bring this building to life. Together, we really can make a difference, and we're looking forward to showing you more of what this building can do.
It's true. Together we can make a difference, and have. And not only are we so grateful for the generosity of all the donors, but for the volunteers who truly keep this facility running. And guess what? That's the next stop on our tour. So each year, thousands of volunteers come together to help provide our neighbors with the food they need. In fact, this last year, you may not know this, but volunteers put in over 53,000 hours of time. That's the equivalent to 25 full-time employees. So, Morgan, can you tell us more about what this room is used for?
Absolutely, Michelle. There are a lot of beautiful spaces in this new facility, but this one is particularly close to my heart. Welcome to the Volunteer Center. In this space, volunteers get to sign in for their shift, put their belongings in a safe location, and sit back in comfort while they learn about their project, how it will impact the community, and our safety guidelines. We hope our volunteers will come back again and again to enjoy this space and make an impact in the community. I have some very special guests with me, Michelle. Karen's back, and it's also my privilege to introduce Patricia Kempthorne. Patricia has served as our Fresh Approach Capital Campaign Chair, the former First Lady of Idaho, and CEO of the Twiga Foundation. Patricia, I'm so glad you're here with us today.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you so much. It's just been such an honor to be a part of this organization and a part of the campaign. When Karen asked me, so many years ago, I can't remember, 7, I think you said, that we were going to work on a campaign to help improve the facilities across the state. I love the idea of being able to be a part of something that really impacted families and children all across the state. But what I learned from it all was just how community-based it all was. Yes, we're the Idaho Foodbank, but it exists because of the communities and because of the people in the communities. And I saw everything from the amazing donors to the individuals who in the communities show up with the food or help pack the boxes or just there to, because that moment in time, maybe they need a box of food, but they're going to be back to help and to serve. And that's what I see, this give and take that goes all over the state. So being a part of improving the facilities for the food bank so that we could do what we need to do is do it so well. It's been a great honor for me. So thank you so much. And I'm so glad to be a part.
Oh, Patricia, it has just been amazing. And it wasn't just about the capacity here in Southwest. No. You helped us across the state. But, I have to pass it over to Karen to say thank you properly, because I just can't say thank you enough.
Thanks, Morgan. And Patricia, it really has been such an honor for you to join us through this journey. And, we were able to expand our Pocatello facility, built a brand new warehouse in Lewiston to support the northern region of the state, and now this amazing facility for the Southwest region. For a lot of years, you've hung in there with us.
But we knew it would happen.
We knew it would happen. And through that, I've just grown to admire and respect you even more. I mean, your commitment to Idahoans and Idaho families is genuine. And not only is that evident to everyone through the words that you use, but we've seen it through your actions over and over again, promoting the fact that nobody in Idaho should be hungry. It just shouldn't happen. And we have a way to address that. So we cannot thank you enough for that. We did want to let you know that this space is dedicated to you and your commitment to Idaho's children and the Idaho families.
Thank you.
It's
oh
the
my
least
goodness,
we could
I had
do.
no idea. Oh, thank you
so
so
deserving.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, we couldn't have done it without you. This just means the world to us that you were part of this. And Patricia, you know, this artwork will showcase the art of children year round, answering the question, how does food impact your life? And so we'll be changing it out with different pictures. But having worked with you for so long, we know that the children are near and dear to your heart. And we can't thank you enough for making their future that much brighter.
Thank you so much.
And on top of that, you made it fun. We had some fun along the way.
We did have fun.
We did.
And I'm not done. We've got more to do.
Oh, thank you so much, Patricia. It just meant the world to us to have you with us through this whole time. And like Karen said, it's been a whole lot of fun as well.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you. Thank you.
I cannot think of anyone more deserving of such a wonderful dedication. Thank you, Patricia, for your unwavering support of the Idaho Food Bank. Tons of work goes into making it possible for people all across the state to have access to the food they need. And all of that work starts in the volunteer activity room, which just happens to be the next stop on our tour.
I'm here in our volunteer activity room, and as you can see from behind me, a whole lot of action takes place in this room to ensure that food continues to flow to our neighbors in need. Today, our amazing volunteers are here sorting through these beautiful pears. Oftentimes, the food bank receives donations of product that needs to be broken down into family-sized quantities to make it more usable and accessible for our neighbors in need. Other activities that take place in this space include packing our backpack bags for our children's weekend wellness. And we also sort through that food drive product that so many of our neighbors participate in donating. We absolutely could not do what we do or make sure that food is accessible to those in need without our amazing volunteers.
As the saying goes, many hands make for light work. And the Idaho Food Bank certainly relies on and greatly appreciates the time so many give to allow them to do so much for our communities. You know, when you think about the Idaho Food Bank, you can't help but think about where all of that food is actually stored. So, this is fun. Let's have a look inside the warehouse. It's one of my favorite spots in our new facility because look at all of this space. Especially if you were in the old facility, you will know that this is just so greatly improved. I kind of almost want to fly right through it, right? Wow, that is an impressive space, Morgan.
It is impressive, Michelle. I can hardly believe all this space that we now have. It's actually 3 times as much space as we had in our old facility. And what that means is more food to the community and neighbors when they need it. To make this space a reality, it took hard work and the partnership with Neil Nelson, president of ESI Construction, and his crew. Neil, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Pretty excited to be able to be complete with this and have you guys in here full time.
Oh, it's been amazing, and truly it's already helping us serve the community in a bigger way. Now, I know that you're a busy guy. The Treasure Valley is a busy place. Why did you decide to take on this project?
You know, at ESI, we're heavily invested into the community, and we always try to help, one nonprofit a year. And when we looked at this project, it just seemed to really align with our company values, and it was so close and the timing worked out. We also liked what it did for the entire state, that it wasn't, just something that would affect the Treasure Valley. It was statewide, and the need was pretty significant, and the timing was great. So it just all the stars aligned and turned out to be a great project for everybody.
Oh my gosh, well, a great project for everybody is right. Like I said, we're already serving more folks than we could before, and that was really important during this critical time for our neighbors. Yeah. When you look at this project or you think back, were there any key takeaways or things that were just a little different?
Yeah, there was a few things about it that made it different, and most of it was the timing If we were to do the same project, I would estimate the cost to be 20 to 30% more. So your timing was actually excellent, given what's happened in the last 18 months and how the need went up, but also our labor shortage continued, and now we've got some inflation and escalation on construction costs. So when I look back at a project like this, I'm just really grateful that it all came together and we were able to bring it in at this kind of budget as opposed to what we'd be facing right now. So that's probably the most unique thing, is that we were able to get it done for a really effective price.
Well, and we're so grateful because not only did you do it in budget, you were also on time, which was no easy feat. We know anytime.
Right. Anytime you tackle an expansion, there's undoubtedly surprises, and this was no different. There was definitely a few surprises, but I think the key with your group and with Erstad Architects and our team of subcontractors and vendors, they overcame some challenges fairly quickly, and that's one of the awesome things about a project like this. People are willing to work as a team, and so when you hit those challenges, typically everybody just comes together and gets past them and moves on, because they know the cause in the end is worth the pain that they're going through now.
Well, absolutely. And your crew was so amazing. When we came on site, they were so welcoming and they were excited about the project. So thank you so much for bringing them together and for your true partnership on this project. It's just amazing, and we're so proud to call it home.
Yeah, you bet. Well, it's fun to see it in action and see volunteers actually working here. We don't always get to see the projects when they're complete, but it's nice to be able to, we've had some volunteers of our own crews come back, and they've talked about how well it's working for you, and I can look around and see the volunteers busy at work. So I can tell it's actually really money well put to use, and it looks like it's really effective.
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you so much. It's perfect. And, like you said, we got volunteers already hard at work, and that's what it's about, is serving the community, and our partnerships really make that possible.
ESI Construction always does such a phenomenal job with each of their projects. And speaking of phenomenal, did you know that the new warehouse has almost 17,000 square feet of cooler and freezer space so that, yes, yogurt and eggs and many nutritious foods that are perishable, they can increase the amount of cooler and freezer space. It was essential in this new warehouse. Well, I think John Jackson actually was right when he said you'd be able to make good use of all that refrigeration. Did you know that the food bank provides food for more than 1 million meals each month? The majority of the food that's received in this new facility is here and then moved to locations in Lewiston and Pocatello, as well as the 465 partner organizations all across the state. So far, we've seen where all of the volunteers gather, the massive space that houses literally tons of nutritious food, and the process of getting everything out and on its way to those who need it. We know that you have a committed and passionate team working behind the scenes to make sure that individuals and families have all of the resources they need. So for that, we've got to take a peek at the office space, and that is located upstairs. So look at this. Oh, wow. First of all, it's so beautiful and bright and light. This is pretty incredible. This is where a lot of the hard work gets done by people on staff here at the Idaho Food Bank. I think this might be quite the upgrade from the prior location, Morgan.
That's right, Michelle. When we first looked at this building, there was barely any office space, let alone the conference rooms. But that's not the case anymore. Welcome to the upstairs. I'm here with Andy Erstad, principal at Erstad Architects, and our partner in making this facility what it is. Andy, thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you, Morgan.
So, Andy, when you decided to take on this project and work with the food bank, what were you trying to accomplish?
Well, the food bank's mission and goals are statewide, and we were aware of those, quite aware of those. We were trying to create a facility that was going to be kind of accommodating of all of the programmatic needs, and also mindful that in our valley alone, we've got an immense amount of growth. So we needed to address the growth in the food stores. We needed to address the growth in staffing, and look to the future as well as look to the present needs. So a little bit of everything, I think. We're trying to make sure that what the end product was flexible enough that we could go well into the future, and the food bank wouldn't have to go through this arduous, long process again for a long time, if ever.
No, and we so appreciate that. And, one of the things that we really enjoyed, Andy, was working with you and your team in this process of what did we want it to feel like? So when you take yourself back to that spot, what feel were you hoping for?
Well, I'm glad that you used the word team. We truly believe that the most successful projects are the projects where our clients are really the leaders. They're involved in it. They are with us day to day. We ask silly questions. We ask serious questions. We really want to understand goals, objectives, needs. And as we walked through this warehouse that was so generously donated, we had a whole bunch of fun sort of things going on, like the door from the second floor that went to the first floor.
I remember that. That was a little scary.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you do with that? You seize upon a little bit of the levity, and that becomes kind of a mantra, if you will. We looked at all of the components and said, how do we make it better? And we really relied on the food bank staff to say, this is how we think we can make it better, or we function this way. Can you guys help us make it better and more efficient? So as a true collaboration, we said, let's knock this thing out of the ballpark. And I think we did.
I think you did too. We're so grateful for your amazing team effort here. And can I just say, well done. This is such a welcoming place for our team, but also for neighbors, for volunteers, for anyone who comes into this space. So thank you for your partnership.
Well, you're welcome. We appreciate it. And I always find sort of discussions like this interesting because behind me is a team of almost 20 people, and I'm only as good as my team, and they are such an amazing group, and we were able to share that amazingness with all of you, and we appreciate it.
It was an awesome experience. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, amazingness indeed. Well, not only did Erstad design a beautiful and functional office environment, they were able to carry that through to the conference room. So the conference room will not only be used for internal purposes, obviously, but it's also going to be a wonderful community space for others to utilize. And then just across the hall, you saw us go through it there, this is the brand new state-of-the-art teaching kitchen. Let's go back to Morgan to get a tour of the kitchen and hear more about how it, along with the conference room, are providing our community with valuable resources.
I'm here with Board Chair John Waite, as well as Karen, to talk about the importance of the conference rooms as well as the teaching kitchen. John, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Morgan. Good to be here.
Can you talk a little bit about why this community space was so important?
As I'm standing here in this amazing kitchen, I'm reminded of the generosity of literally hundreds of Idahoans that made it happen. So first, we got to start there. But to your question, this kitchen and the conference rooms across are wonderful for the food bank. But what they're really good is our community. There's many nonprofits and other community members who don't have this. And now we can open up to them and really create a healthy community with the resources we now have.
It's so true. And, this kitchen is an important part of that community. What thoughts do you have on the kitchen specifically?
We have a space now that we can really stand up the pillars of our Hunger to Health mission and our strategy around that, which, as you know, starts with nutrition, education, and creating healthy communities. And creating resiliency for our neighbors who are suffering from food insecurity starts with this, starts with healthy food and education around that. And yes, we want to eliminate hunger in Idaho, but as long as there is hunger, we're going to deliver healthy food to our neighbors.
And Karen, this is an exciting addition. We have kitchens in both of our other facilities. So when you think about the impact that John was sharing, what are your final thoughts?
As John shared, it is important to provide the healthy foods, but it's even more empowering if we can provide the education and the knowledge for those families to be able to prepare those healthy foods and the healthy meals for their families. And we've found through this program that we've had that families are excited. People are excited to learn this information and to take that home and share with others. It really is making a difference for our families in Idaho.
It really is. And I just love that we can all be together in this space and think about the future that's healthier for those families. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you,
Thank you, Morgan.
Michelle, it has been a fantastic day, and I could go on and on. We're happy to take you into every nook and cranny, but we want to take this last moment and just say thank you to everyone who is tuning in today and our amazing supporters who brought this facility to life. As John and Karen said, this is about creating a hunger-free and healthier Idaho, and we know together we can do that.
Oh, Morgan, what a truly beautiful facility. I'm a little jealous of that kitchen. Well, it is the collaboration with community partners, the dedication of volunteers, the amazing Idaho Foodbank staff, the contributions from many community resources, and of course now this fabulous new facility that show we are truly stronger together. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate this wonderful occasion, and I do hope that each of you have the opportunity to experience it in person very soon. You can always learn more at idahofoodbank.org. Have a great day.